Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Today we are taking a look at a very recently released, pretty brand new game, Aether Gazer. So what is Aether Gazer? Aether Gazer is a fast-paced, strategic, real-time hack and slash waifu collector for degenerate anime lovers and highly cultured gamers like myself. The story goes something as follows. Aether Gazer takes place in a post-apocalyptic world. The survivors upload their consciousness into the Gaia Zero. However, evil creatures called Vizbanes are ruining everything. Your waifus, aka modifiers, are part of the Aether Gazer organization, which is here to beat up the Vizbanes. Aether Gazer is available now on both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So if you do like what you see, you guys can definitely play it as well. I'm going to go over what I've learned about the combat, characters, gacha, and the game modes for this game. So I actually wanted to start off this video with the combat in this game because I definitely believe that it is one of the highlights for Aether Gazer, and we're just going to go ahead and run it, and I do absolutely love the art in this game. Looks very good. So okay, now you typically start off against a bunch of waves of enemies like this. For a character like the one I'm using, you want to build up a bit of rage in order to start doing her combos like this. And I think there's a lot of room for animation canceling and stuff right now, but I'm definitely a noob in this game. You know, been playing it for just, this is, I think, day 3 of me playing it pretty casually. So yeah, it's going to take a lot more time than that to develop the muscle memory appropriate. But we can see as well that your two other characters are non-playable or non-controllable NPCs, but they actually fight on the field with you, which is very cool. A lot of games, you know, you kind of do like a swap on and off type system, but I kind of prefer this where you just really focus on, you know, maximizing your controllable characters' output while the NPC characters support you and do their stuff on their own. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of chaos, and you can see there that there's a lot of room for optimization and stuff. This is of course just a basic story mission where, you know, you don't really have to worry too much about that type of optimization and everything like that. Now let's also take a quick look at just another character because I want to show you guys the really big variance in playstyle. So next I'm going to use my other character, I think her name is Rahu, and we're going to start off with her, and I'll be controlling her so you can see some big differences in the gameplay between them. So this character is more of a crowd controlling character. So I'm going to target one of these guys, and you can see here that her giant fist thing groups the enemies up fairly reasonably, which will allow us to obviously do a bunch of AoE damage to them. Now against a boss character, like I think this guy is the boss enemy here, we can freeze him like this, which provides a lot of very nice crowd control in order for us to do things like this and wombo combo him. And also when she does certain abilities, she gains like an enhancement to her kind of click and hold attack, where she does an enhanced click and hold attack. Now I am doing it, it's a little hard to tell exactly because you know, obviously, you know, there's just a lot going on. And we're gonna do another fracture thing here to slow him down, and we're gonna freeze him in our little bubble after the fracture's over to provide us even more time to just wallop on him. And enemies have a kind of like a toughness bar or whatever it's called, where they go into this like frozen mode where you can just, you know, literally just beat the tar out of them. But yeah, this character, you can just see the huge variance in the playstyle, as well as a lot of character with her. You see her sitting on her little fists that she used to punch her enemies across the map. There's a huge difference in playstyle between the characters, which is a lot of fun. So there's another really cool system in this game called Ultimate Skill Chains, which I will show off in a little bit. When you combine certain characters on your team, they will have a custom ultimate where both characters participate and do a ton of damage. We'll show this off in a little bit once we talk about more game modes. But before we hop into that, we have to talk about the characters slash waifus that you can collect. So the first character, now my personal favorite character so far, is definitely Shinri Tsukuyomi. We can see that physics are prevalent in this game. The 3D models that you actually collect with the character is the ones that you use in the game in combat, and you can see just how fluid and how great those characters look in the combat itself. Characters are certainly going to have costumes. We can see here that she has a wonderful costume. This is also just a day one release day costume. I can't wait to see what they have for us in the future. Speaking of which, a bit of a tangent, but let's talk a bit about what we can expect for the future. So Yoastar, in case you aren't aware, is the publisher for this game, and they've published many very successful anime style mobile games. And the developer of this game specifically is Manju and Xiamen Yongshi, which they are the developers of Azur Lane. If you know anything about Azur Lane, it's got some really top tier designs, waifus, and costumes. So hopefully, I'm personally really hopeful for this. We're going to see some of that stuff make its way in 3D form to Aether Gazer. Some other costumes in the game. I think this character also has a costume. She's not so much my preferred type of character, but you know, she's a lot of fun, and this costume is it's nice, you know, it's not bad. I do use her though on my account because she's one of, you know, the more powerful and high rarity characters that I did get through my playthrough so far. Another character with a costume is this one, Dark Mistletoe. She has a maid costume. Very fitting for a game like this. It's one of the healer characters that you do get. I think everyone gets her for free. And we have kind of a standard like samurai, futuristic samurai style. Very nice. This is the main character of the game. Quite a few other characters that we're going to go through one by one. Now I really like this character's design. Absolutely love the combination of futuristic with like, you know, like sword type weapons. That type of style always looks great. I believe this is an alternative form of the main character that I am using, Shinri Tsukuyomi. This is another variant of her, which is Sakubo Tsukuyomi. So we can see that there's going to be character variations, which is I personally like that. I like to see like certain characters that I like. Perhaps they might not be that good right now, but they might get a form in the future that makes them really good. So we have another shorter style character. I do like you know, the giant backpack and giant anchor style weapon. Very cool. We even have a couple token husbandos, with this one having kind of the skin tight ab enhancing outfit. We even have this guy here. Very interesting character design. You can't even see his face here. No alternative costumes. Perhaps he will have one where he does a face reveal someday. So let's take a look at a few more. Got a couple more husbandos here. Another waifu here. Yeah, all the character designs are on point. I absolutely love characters with giant ponytails like this one right here. All right, so this character, hopefully she doesn't get this video demonetized, but we could see she is one of the reasons why we love to play games like this. I'm sad I don't have her, but hey, you can't get everyone. A kind of a shonen style character, and we have a couple more of the smaller types, and another alternative form of the Poseidon from earlier, and we have her wearing a jacket. I can't wait to see what costumes we have in the future coming from the developers of Azur Lane. So next thing I want to show you guys are the different game modes and what kind of gameplay you can expect. Of course, there's the tried and true story mode. We have the tried and true resource collection mode, where you can just spend some stamina to get resources. This is very nice and straightforward in comparison to a lot of other games that I've played. Up next is sigil farming. This is basically like farming for the gear in this game. I haven't quite gotten to the point where I need to consider farming for like end game stuff or any of that stuff. And up next is challenges. This has a lot of different game modes in it. And why don't we actually just go ahead and run one of these missions really quick. But we can see, I think this one, you run through these with a bunch of various different buffs and stuff. So let's go ahead and just do this real quick and take a look at it. You just have like different types of buffs for your characters, which will encourage you to use like certain characters more than others and stuff like that. And I'm assuming it will also get a lot more difficult in the future. And we can see here that I'm not able to do all the combos correctly, even as I use my main character here. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of nuance and depth to what happens. So this looks, I guess it's like a time-based wave clearing mode. But I absolutely love how like fast-paced and impactful everything that these characters do really feels. And that is definitely one of the selling points of this game. And you definitely get like a big rush of dopamine when you do those time freeze things. So do we have even more ways? Wow, yeah, this game mode definitely goes on for quite a bit. But yeah, so this looks like kind of a wave clearing mode, which is definitely a nice variation on kind of the story mission type gameplay. So the next mode that I really want to show you guys is, I believe this is going to be important for the end game, but this is kind of like a boss rush mode, and you actually do need 2 teams for this instead of just 1 team. So let's go ahead and set up our 2 teams for this. So let's see. Okay, so looks like there's 2 enemies. And okay, my mouse is confusing me. I'm not quite used to the controls on the emulator yet. And are we able to kind of hit both of them at the same time? That'd be ideal. It looks like not quite, but they do kind of group up together a little bit. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a lot of nice variation on the boss fights and types of enemies that we fight. We can see here that this is kind of like a dual target boss fight scenario. And now we can see the dual ultimate that I was talking about, like the tag ultimate. It's even got a couple nice camera angles, which we can appreciate, and did a very nice amount of damage, and immediately tossed the other one into this break mode, which we're going to be able to output a lot of damage against. And yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And let's go ahead and fight the second boss with our second team. I don't think I really remember how to use the main character, unfortunately, but hopefully we can figure it out. Because I just built her actually for this purpose. So we're gonna see how this team fares. Probably not as well, but
a few moments later.
So it looks like the other abilities might refresh her third ability? I don't know what I'm talking about, but it looks like some of the abilities are kind of tied into each other. Okay, we're gonna just go for a dodge there. Go for a joint ultimate again. But this time with this team. Doing some modest damage against this guy. And it looks like... Uh-oh. Oh no. We were only through phase 1 of the fight.
2,000 years later.
And we're getting a lot of these joint ultimates, which is great. I think they do a lot more damage than just the regular ultimate, and we were able to do it, but it definitely took quite a bit of additional effort to pull off. So the last thing I want to talk about and showcase in a game like this is, of course, the gacha. With every waifu collector comes a gacha. So how has my experience been? I have been a completely free-to-play player so far, and I've gotten 2 of the S-rank characters, Rahu, which you saw, as well as the featured character Shinri Tsukiyomi. So what did it take to get these? I got 40 free pulls, I believe, just like from starting playing the game with pre-registers, whatever, wherever those 40 pulls came from. And I believe it was a guaranteed S-rank character in those 40 pulls, and I got Rahu. And through playing through the story mode for a couple of hours, I got 60 pulls, which I used on this banner, and on my 60th, on my 6th 10 pull, I did get Tsukiyomi. We can see here that the hard pity for lower rank A rank characters is 10 pulls, and the hard pity for the S rank characters is at 70 pulls. Also important to know is that this also has the 50% chance to get the S grade character that you want, and a 50% chance character to get an off-banner character. However, if you lose the first 50-50, the next 50-50 will indeed give you the character that is featured here, which would be Shinri Tsukiyomi. I'm going to do at least 2 10 pulls, and perhaps I'll just save my premium currency for another time. Let's go ahead and run through this. So let's start off with a 10 pull with the standard banner. And I believe that golden beam indicates that we did get an S rank character. So let's go ahead and see what character we got. Let's keep going through. Here we go. Let's see who we got. Hopefully a new waifu. Okay. We got this samurai boy. Bondo. He's like a little... Oh! We got 2! We got a dupe of Rahu. Well, you know what? I guess I was lucky. But as lucky as it was, I can't say I'm all that thrilled. Give me some waifus. You know, Rahu, you're cool and all. You seem to be pretty good, but... That wraps up my initial impressions of Aether Gazer. Overall, I have been having a lot of fun with this game. It is a great game to play as just kind of a standalone. The free-to-play experience has been very enjoyable. I have not felt the need to spend any money so far, except for perhaps on her costume. I am actually considering being not free to play, but only for costumes. We'll have to see. Again, Aether Gazer is available on both Android and iOS. A link to it will be down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Went to Lose, signing out.